to the losers.
3, 2, 1, go, and we're off.
Yeah, the winner of this match will face X-Apollo 2 in the second round.
So we got our guys starting off in Quickman yet again. Once again, reminding folks that Quickman is one of our favorite starting points in the randomizer. And this stage is already looking really, really brutal for them early on. This looks really painful. megakyle taking a lot of hits from the crushers in that Joe Meg right before the first set of beams.
Yeah, Dagit actually got to buster down the crushers and pick up some health, but Kyle, on the other hand, did not. Spin his E-Tank a little early, in my opinion, because, yeah, there's some drops he's just gonna miss, which I'm sure he's probably kicking himself, especially since he's chicken one shot. But, hey, better safe than sorry. Definitely wouldn't want to start over, especially this early in the race. Plus, plenty more E-Tanks on the way. Not a bad move. But Dagit is up an E-Tank right now, even though he is...
I would call this a little risk versus reward scenario here. You don't really know right now if it was the best play. I mean, if megakyle gets bodied by the boss, that E-Tank use, ooh, that could cost him. Right now, it looks like it's the right play, because he's still alive, hasn't taken a death. That might... you know, catch up to him later on, and we'll see right here against the boss if that's the case.
Yeah, perhaps. I would have definitely probably done the same thing with megakyle and taken damage to all that and you take him through. Finds dumb crash and quick stage, and runners are gonna take him out pretty quickly.
Look like Crash pretty much forgot his brains in some of these other C's. Both our C's had some pretty idiot crashes.
And now, see, using that E-Tank, you know, megakyle's got a couple seconds of a lead going out of the first stage here. And here we
got Mega Man 2 song on Flashman stage, which is our boy's next stop.
Oh man, this right here might be the best song in Mega Man 2 ever! Just might.
Here we go, releasing the music floodgates yet again.
Well, I made my opinion rather clear on where I stood on things in Game 1. It's definitely top 3, but not number 1 for me.
Well, what's not number 1 in this case are the walls. I definitely saw megakyle try to shoot the walls with Buster. It tanked off, so Buster is not a wall weak. It's not the wall weakness for this seed.
Ooh, more chickens. This might be a little difficult with all the jumps, but megakyle makes it look absolutely easy as Dagit misses the E-Tank, chooses the low road instead.
It negates the E-Tank advantage that Dagit has, as both of these guys now have a single E-Tank each.
And
yeah, Dagit saved some time by not going for that E-Tank. He got into the boss fight first.
Yeah, he got into the boss fight literally 1 second ahead of my megakyle.
Pretty long jumping air. You really couldn't take any safeties on that near the near the boss gate, but both our runners still was able to eke out a victory. So airman down, flash stage out of the way, and we're pretty much good to go. With item 1 in tow, no less. So with item 1 in hand, wonder where these guys are going to go now. Dagit opts to go to Bubble Man, and megakyle does the same. So we might not know what item 1 is going to be, what its properties are going to be just yet.
Now, what was a few second advantage for megakyle in the first stage is now a few seconds lead for Dagit. It looked like he was about 5 seconds faster going into the Bubble Man stage compared to megakyle. So, you know, it's gonna be those very small execution angles that are almost certainly gonna decide Game 2 here if neither runner, you know, ends up making any catastrophic mistakes.
Well, one mistake that wasn't made was the bubble zip, as dagit was able to do it, and megakyle follows suit, so we got double bubble zips for these guys. So right now, their bubble stages are pretty clean so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why I'm, you know, so excited for a Game 3 here. You know, again, I think megakyle is probably the better runner, but, I mean, the difference between both of the runners here, as you can see, is so razor thin, and megakyle was able to win Game 1 almost because dagit just, you know, failed to execute in that crash stage.
And we got a vanilla bubble who is pretty susceptible to Buster. So good job on vanilla boss again, C. Anyway, we got dagit with our slight advantage as megakyle is following suit, beating Bubble Man. It looks like dagit chooses to... He goes to Heat? That's an interesting choice in this regard.
That is absolutely interesting. I don't think I would have done that, especially with, oh, excuse me, without item 2.
Yeah, at least without item 2 to get by the Yoku blocks. The rest of the section can be easy depending on the situation, but right now the enemies here are completely annoying, and megakyle is not having any fun either with these moves, pretty much negating his chance for a zip with item 1, which looks pretty good.
Oh, and he just got bodied by a crusher too, it looked like. He's taking a ton of damage here so far. Oh, it was our little spring toys there, the Pop-Tops, as I believe they're called.
I believe the correct pronunciation or correct name is Flyboys, or at least the Japanese one is. Not sure what the American name is.
But megakyle is just getting brutalized in this Metal Man stage.
And I
so
think
far.
dagit's gonna have just as much trouble, because now he's gonna have to deal with a lot of shrimps, and they are literally some of the most annoying enemies to have in any randomizer seed. A little tip for those that might not be aware: you can actually tell what enemies are potentially going to be in this large stretch in the small little single screen area right before the midpoint. You can, once you see that one enemy, that's potentially going to be the main culprit of what enemy you're going to be facing.
You know, I was thinking, you know, trying to wonder about dagit's decision about going to Heat, right? You guys were mentioning about needing item 2 to do this Yoku block section. I personally don't even go, I'll go without item 2. I look for item 3 at least. Perhaps dagit used item 1 in the previous stage to see how it was acting, but he didn't end up zipping with it, which that kind of throws me off. He didn't even use it to get across the section before that you usually zip past. So, not sure what the decision is here, but yeah, he makes it through nonetheless, and now he's fighting Flashman in the Heat stage.
Meanwhile, megakyle takes out Woodman in Metal Man's room.
Oh, this is going to be close. Dagit deciding to play it safe and use the E-Tank. Unfortunately, he didn't actually have to. Almost cost himself a second or two on activating the E-Tank.
It's a typical E-Tank situation. You think you need it when you're about to die, but then wind up surviving anyway, making the E-Tank use pretty much pointless. Typical Mega Man E-Tank situation.
Yeah, welcome to the risk versus reward of running in a tournament. Definitely agree with the decision, because taking a death is far more, you know, time-consuming. So removing that is a possible alternative. It looks like Dagit's gonna abandon the potential zip here as well.
You'll find the bad news that moles are pretty much just blocking his zipping path, and is forced to go through it casually. Meanwhile, megakyle is going through Woodman stage, yet again opting not to try to use any kind of zipping advantages. Probably still not quite familiar with at least the good wood zip. Not that it saves too much time, but it still can give a little few second edge, but it's not completely necessary, and it definitely doesn't guarantee a win.
Well, if you can pull it off, I mean, I don't know. I'm really convinced that this race is just going to come down to execution. If you think you're going to lose time trying to go for a zip, I agree with not even, you know, thinking about doing it. Just skip the zip, go through, execute. I mean, they're both here for a reason, and I think, you know, they're showing us why.
megakyle using excellent use of the item 2 for the final portion of Woodman's stage, as you're about to find out who's our boss in Woodman's room. So let's see what's up, as Dagit's kind of struggling trying to get across the area, decides to try and pause buffer, while we got a very durable Heatman in Wood Room.
Yeah, Heatman was a little bit of a problem child in race number 1. And it looks like megakyle's found the bubble lead to be quite effective here.
More vanilla-ness.
Yeah, I was pretty scared for megakyle. It was kind of pretty close, but he's going to go ahead and pause buffer over Heatman a couple times. He's going to get to keep his Z-tanks.
Yeah, Dagit made quick work of Woodman at the end of the Metalman stage, so we've got both runners with 3 stages left, but they don't have 3 stages in common. Only Crashman, it looks like, is being saved for last, as Dagit's going into Woodman, and megakyle's going into Airman.
Right now, looks like Air has a couple of annoying enemies to deal with. Not too bad, could be worse, but regardless, he still decides to just try and fly over with item 2.
Well, hopefully megakyle remembers to hold down the jump button this time. This cost him in game 1, and it was really the only mistake he made, was taking a death in this particular stage. Oh no. Fat fans are showing up. This could make an interesting second half to the Airman stage.
No, I think we're gonna have a Joe Airlines, as we got a lot of Joe Mechs and Sniper Joes in the immediate area. Almost dies. The positioning was very precarious. Fortunately, megakyle was able to recover, but he still gotta go through the Joe Gauntlet in order to get to Airman's room.
Yeah, I'm starting to see how this Joe Gauntlet can be just absolutely brutal on the runners. Even this last game, they had a Joe Gauntlet in one of the stages. I can't recall exactly which one.
Decided to use the air shooter to take out the large Joe Mechs and swap it to the Buster to take out the Sniper Joes themselves.
Yeah, the Sniper Joes themselves are far less dangerous than I think they are with the riding armor that they use.
Meanwhile, we got a durable Metalman in Air Room, pretty much designed to liven the place up with the dimness of the lights and the flashing of the room. Meanwhile, Dag is taking on his Heatman fight, finding out that Buster is no good. And look like we find out item 3 in Airman stage. So I think that's all items accounted for, at least for megakyle side. And it was quick boomerangs that has a slight bit of weakness for Heatman. So we got a soft weak quick boomerang for Woodman, it seems, as dagit finished off his 6th robot master.
Oh, hello, Crashman. We have the Fanish Inquisition with a whole bunch of fat fans. I think both runners are going to be wanting to try to pull off the zip, and it looks like megakyle's got it.
Yeah, fat fans are pretty dangerous in this game in terms of zips. If you get caught zipping while fat fans on screen, you will not zip and you can potentially soft lock. You can recover if you got flash, and flash is, and odds are if flash is the type that's more of a partial energy user, as you can use it multiple times. But other than that, if you get caught by a fat fan while zipping, that's basically GG.
Ooh, Dagit's taking a risk here, and it looks like it's actually paid off pretty well, skipping a lot of the frogs here. And it looks like he's on to part 2 of the Airman stage, as megakyle's making short work of the Crashman stage.
megakyle using item 3 for the crash climb, making short work of the area. Pretty much on his way to his crash room, opting to get the E-Tank on the way.
Oh, we got the mech stuck. Well done, Dagit.
Yep, Dagit on his little journey on the Joe Gauntlet, accidentally responding a Joe mech on accident.
Well, at least that one was so high up it actually just despawned off the top of the screen.
Meanwhile, we got a quick man that's not really that quick on megakyle's end. And megakyle just opts to buster him. And megakyle just, didn't even bother trying to check the weakness and just decided to just have a damage race.
Now, looks like Dagit's prepared to have a little Pure 6 brawl with Metal Man at the end of the Airman stage. So now it's going to be Dagit going into Crashman stage, and megakyle's going to have to see how well he can execute in the Heatman stage that Dagit's already gone through.
Well, megakyle would have a slight advantage and probably gain some time on Dagit, as Dagit went through this stage with really little to no items, as megakyle does have item 1 and all items actually. In fact, megakyle is trying to utilize a randomizer exclusive zip in Heatman stage using item 1. Since in vanilla you don't usually have item 1 for this stage as it's locked normally. Yep, gets the little zip, but having some trouble with the Metroids, but is able to survive.
Yeah, megakyle will have item 3 to the next corridor as well, as Dagit didn't have it at the time he went to Heatman stage, so he could possibly gain some time here, but looks like Dagit gets his zip in Crashman stage, so yeah, I mean, they're both pretty much, I'd say, pretty close to dead even, seeing that they're both around halfway through both stages.
I probably would give megakyle a little bit more of an advantage since his stage is much shorter and it's going to be much faster with the items, while Crashman is definitely a much longer stage. While Dagit is able to zip and utilize all his items, it's still a slightly longer stage even with items for Crashman staging compared to Heatman.
You're right.
Speaking of which, we got megakyle finally going to his Heat Room fight against Flash. It was pretty freaking fast and makes them climb the walls.
Looks like Megakyle's gonna be first into the Wily stages again. If he can keep it clean here, he might be able to take down Gm2 at this point.
At this point, like I said, it's almost like we're calling this randomizer Mega Man 2-0 with how many 2-0s we potentially can get, but it's still not over. We still got the Wily stages incoming. And of course, speaking of Wily stages, you know what to do. Make your guesses in. We got a color of a dragon to name, not to mention, for extra credit, guess his weakness. I think I'll start it off this time around. So let's see. We're gonna go True Blue Dragon with a True Blue weakness of Buster.
On here, I was gonna go for the Blue Eyes White Dragon, but I'm gonna have to dumpster that, and we're going Red Eyes Black Dragon.
I think the dragon's gonna look like Charizard from Pokemon.
Whatever your call is, I ain't judging.
And he's gonna be weak to the Blastoise's blaster, the water blaster. That's the
So
one.
you're saying Bubble Lead?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody speaks Pokemon! Oh my goodness, I can't believe it!
Char.
Let's see, what do I want to go with? Quick Boomerang's too mainstream. Let's go Crash Bomb this time. Why not? I'll live a little.
Crash is really a good weakness to use if the explosion duration is actually long. The explosion duration is also another randomized quirk of the Crash Bomb weapon. So you can get a really long explosion period or a period of a few frames. That can have some rabbit troubles.
You know, I almost wanted to say it looked like he was gonna go for suicide or death, but no, he went ahead and popped the E-Tank and kept going. So not
That
too
is
sure what that
a
was
really,
about.
really purple dragon. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, that is a really purple dragon. And we got a Crash weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dragon looked like it could have been straight out of the little girl's aisle at Toys R Us, next to the Barbie dolls, and yeah, that was one pinkish purple dragon there.
I was gonna say some like Easter horror movie called, and it wanted its main villain back or something.
I just miss Toys R Us.
I have no
Rip.
comment.
Alright, and as megakyle makes his way across the bikes in Wily 2, we're gonna see what Dagit's dragon fight looks like.
Well, it definitely wasn't Buster or Bubble, so both our guesses were off as the second weakness happened to be Quicks.
And Megakyle actually skipping the crash wall check. I think he might be thinking, alright, I'm good on E-Tanks. I'm just going to try to, finish the game as quick as possible. Dagit is right on his heels.
Pretty much
But
half a stage
Megakyle
behind.
is in the lead.
Yeah, half a stage behind. That is not much of a lead for Megakyle. So Dagit can pretty much catch up, and Megakyle has a blow up at some point.
Yeah, he's got to keep him on his toes. Megakyle's gonna fight the Boo Beam here, excuse the Pico boss, Pico-Kun.
A Pico Toasters.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Not Buster
Dagit
weak.
could make up time just by finding the weakness quicker than Megakyle does. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Megakyle finds the quick boomerang.
Right, but quick boomerang in this case takes 5 shots, so if Dagit happens to find a stronger weakness when he gets here, he could make a little bit of time.
That is very true.
But regardless, Dagit is not too far away. So if Dagit can find that weakness quick and is more effective, he might gain just that little bit of time and potentially catch up. It's like I said, the lead is not that large.
And it takes 5 metal blades as well.
I'm actually surprised Dagit hasn't switched off of the metal blades, but, you know, I guess better than nothing. Just kind of go with what you got, and
well, with the good directional input and the fact that the seed gives it a lot of shots, I think Metal Blade is not that bad of an idea to use at this point.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Metal Blade works out pretty good. Might have a slight bit of a faster trajectory.
Incoming? Let's see, do we got Chinky Makers? Seeing one. Is it on the last one? Yep, there it is. Yeah, you notice the splash animation is a little glitched. Of course, some enemies weren't meant to be in some areas. You can almost tell what enemy is going to be in a specific area in the water by noticing what glitch sprite it is. With the flame heads, you can almost tell that there may be a Chanky Maker somewhere around.
Now, Dagit's roughly about 45 seconds behind at this point. Again, that could be one little slip-up somewhere in the Wily stages, and that'll completely erase that. But, you know, this is, you know, I don't want to say, you know, any one runner's definitely going to win at this point, but, you know, with megakyle executing at the level he is right now, it's definitely his game to lose.
In the meanwhile, it seems like Quick Boomers are doing a lot of work in this seed, as the Guts tank is yet again another quick, weak boss in a vanilla weakness at that.
And it's interesting to see that megakyle was crushing the tin cans with air, and Dagit was using the bubble lead.
Anyway, we got megakyle starting up on what looks to be sea green hell. Opting to use item 2 to negate the fake platforms, as the fake platforms in that screen and the screen after it are randomized. Just flat out ignore them with item 2 and the vertical scroll zip on the next screen. So megakyle is good to go right now.
And not a bad idea there. I mean, go ahead and take the extra 1.5 seconds to menu to save roughly what could end up potentially being 2 to 3 seconds if you fall through one of those false floors, so not bad.
Yeah, pulling off the zip as well and skipping the entire risk of death on the section where the spikes are. Can't say I disagree with that either. megakyle actually losing a little bit of... Uh-oh.
Nah, he'll be fine.
Okay, alright. I wasn't sure. He clipped that top there, and I thought he'd lose too much momentum to make the turn all the way.
You know, perhaps that looks like the way he might have been practicing it. Like, for me, the way I do that is I jump off item 2 and land on the mini platform, but megakyle just chose to run straight through and then pause buffer over. Looked pretty scary to me, but perhaps it's, you know, nature for him. Or natural.
we got some small information at least on what the leash shield's capable of doing. It looks like it's reversed vertically, has reversed movement.
Megakyle's struggling to find either weakness at this point. It's the bubble lead for the crash walls.
Bubble lead as a weakness for walls is really sketchy, as the bubbles had the tendency to actually miss the walls, and even if you think you contact it, it might not even connect. So bubbles is actually one of the worst possible weaknesses you can have for walls.
Yeah, and depending on how fast Dagit finds these weaknesses, I mean, we could have a change here. We'll see what happens.
We got ourselves a vanilla weakness for the actual turrets and crash.
Oh, Dagit definitely seemed to find the bubble weakness a lot quicker, but he's gonna have to go to the crash bomb, and that's all the way at the end of the item inventory.
And since it's a randomizer, you pretty much almost expect the runner to check crash last. So it might take Dagit a little bit before he finds it. Well, it didn't take him long anymore.
Yeah, definitely. And Megakyle makes it out first, 3119. Good stuff to him. Dagit's looking to finish it up. Maybe close the gap a little here. And we're off to the refights, guys.
Ooh, and I can see what you were saying about the bubble lead here. It just does not want to cooperate at all.
Yeah, bubble lead is just really one of those real awkward wall weaknesses. You almost dread knowing that Bubble's wall weakness because of that fact. And it winds up putting Dagit a little bit behind as a result, as Megakyle is just on full go going through these refights on his third one right now.
Yeah, just by timing alone, it looks like Dagit's just under a minute behind, so he lost a little bit of time on the last stage. So it'll be a matter of, having to execute, and I think really Dagit's going to have to hope that the Wily machine is not Buster weak.
So right now we're actually really locked up in a tight one, as both of these runners are just trying to plow through the robot matches as fast as possible on the way to Wily Machine, which we don't know if it's gonna be Buster Week or not. If it isn't Buster Week, they're gonna have to try to dig for some weaknesses, and might have to switch weaknesses on the second phase if the first weakness that they find is immune in that phase. So a lot can happen within these next couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely down to the wire here.
Dagit's low on energy, he needs to switch. He rolled that dice and got lucky.
Dag nabbit, Dagit. Good stuff.
Yeah, but I was about to say, he's got to watch it here against Woodman, because if he gets bodied one more time, he would have been taken down. But Dagit uses the E-Tank and keeps himself alive.
Yeah, Kyle makes it out first, and we're fighting the machine, and it's not Buster Week.
It looks like Air is one of the main weaknesses, is weak to both phases. So he doesn't have to dig for another weakness. Megakyle finds a really good weakness as he is on his way to Wily 6, and if I want to steal Freako's phrase, on his way to Victory Road.
Well, it's public use. You guys can borrow it as you so need to.
Colors the alien. Quick.
I'm gonna say he's a banana.
Giraffe.
I'm gonna be that stubborn son of a gun and still stick with blue.
Blue, no, yellow. Monty Python. There, those who are old enough, I suppose.
Dang it, find out the bad news.
That is definitely a vanilla alien.
Not quite vanilla, but still vanilla-ish colors. And we got a vanilla-ish weakness as well, but we got a problem.
Oh no, Megakyle's gonna run out of item energy.
No, wait, he might get it.
Yo, he missed though.
Oh, no, Kobe. He tried to go.
He's gonna have to
Shaq.
take a death here.
Yo, he kissed the alien. This is on. It's on, because Kyle's got to stop for Bubble Lead now, and if Dagit just goes without stopping,
Oh man.
could take it.
Oh, this is so close.
And Dagger does indeed go to the left, but Megakyle knows the weakness though. Dagger probably gonna do some searching. If Dagger can't find Bubble Egg quick enough, then there might be some. Megakyle gonna go for the wall
Oh, and
zip.
Megakyle's going for a zip. Oh
Quick,
no.
1 for Dagit, 2 for Kyle. Go, go, go.
He overzips.
Oh my goodness!
No, Megakyle, no. Oh, he's this is one of the worst throws I have ever seen. Oh, Megakyle, no.
He had it in the bag. First he shacked the very last bubbles, and now he overzips.
Wait a
The
minute,
choking
Dagit doesn't have very many bubbles either.
Oh, he's making his shots
I
count.
don't
So.
think he might have some issues as well. I think.
Oh,
I think
Oh no! Oh, both runners had the victory in the bag and they just blew it.
Here you go. Take this win. No, you take it. No, you take it. It's yours.
Oh, this is so savage.
Oh man.
Daggett had a chance to win, but he was low and didn't make the right shots as well. This is pretty much Megakyle's race to win. And indeed, Megakyle does win. Wow, and wow, what a crazy finish. And they both times have eventually
Somebody,
come. Well,
please
I'm actually starting to spoil a little bit, but both times have come in. We give Daggett's time as he finishes his fight, but Megakyle does finish and wins the match 2-0 with an official SRL time of 37 minutes and 28 seconds.
And with that victory, Megakyle has earned a date with X-Apollo 2 in the second round.
And to make it official, Daggett has finished his race. Just unfortunate to lose it in that fashion, but still completes the run at an official SRL time of 37 minutes and 59 seconds. Literally, let's count that. That's about 31 seconds apart from each other, which in this randomizer goes, that is still really, really close.
Man, what a finish, guys. And we'd like to welcome Daggett and Megakyle to the commentary Discord table for their interviews. GG's, guys, and congrats, Megakyle.
Hey, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie, and congrats, Kyle. I feel like I almost could have won that one, but I watched my ammo instead of my health.
Bro, only if you guys knew how close that was. That finish was ridiculous.
That's right. We had no idea how close that was.
Actually, if you don't mind, I want to kind of go over the chain of events that occurred. Okay,
Sure.
Megakyle, you were pretty much ahead. You were the first person that got through the Wily machine and you were on your way to the alien. Of course, by that time, you realized that you were low on bubbles. Almost beat him with that last bubble head, but wound up overshooting it.
It sailed right over his head.
Then Daggett, you were pretty much right on his heels once Megakyle died. So what happened was, while Megakyle was trying to fill his his bubble energy, megakyle also tried to do the Wily 6 zip since the item 1 was good, and he winds up over zipping.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And of course, megakyle dagit was pretty much ahead at that point, but he was low on bubble energy, and he is running out as well. So by the
No. Dagit didn't run out of bubble energy. He ran out of life points.
Yeah, he kissed the alien.
Yep.
No, I'm pretty sure he still. You sure? I'm almost certain that he was at least one shy of beating him, but regardless, he still won the Kissing Dragon. Maybe beforehand. Maybe I was caught up in the excitement. I probably still missed that little oversight.
Yeah, so it's entirely possible I was out of ammo too, but I didn't mean to die when I did.
But yeah, that finish was pretty much insane. It was pretty much we were expecting who was gonna win this race, who's throwing the race, who's giving who the victory. We had no clue what in the world was happening. It was pretty much madness for the last minute.
That's definitely one for the highlight reel, guys. So how do you guys feel?
I think when you pick heat when you're trying to go to metal and then make it through heat anyway, that like you're kind of doing good but kind of doing bad because you went to heat on accident. I mean, hypothetically, not that happened in this race, but
Actually, for me, I'm stunned to hear how much of a close race that was. What an upset! Like we have no idea how close each other are. It's pretty silent in the SRL chat, and like when I missed that last shot with the bubble on the alien, I knew I had to go back and get energy, and I was like, okay, item 1 is good. I can do the zip. And then I overshot it, and I was like, oh man, it's all over.
Yeah, I guess for me, the only indication that we were close was just seeing you type .done and I was fighting the alien.
Right.
Yeah, y'all do really need to see that finish when the VOD comes out. Y'all probably will be amazed at all the craziness and how close y'all were towards the bitter end. It was really a sight to behold.
Yeah, I look forward to watching the VOD, because that does sound interesting.
I definitely will.
So, do my fellow commentators have any other questions aside from that really, really intense finish that we all experienced and enjoyed?
I think I'd like to ask Dagit specifically about the Crashman stage in the first game, if you happen to remember.
I remember it clearly. I don't know if I'll ever forget it.
You were actually ahead up until that point in game 1, and that's where things took a little turn for the worse, unfortunately for you.
Yeah, I couldn't find a weapon that I could hit the rabbits with, and there was enough lag that sometimes when they'd hit me, I would fall all the way down, because even though I was holding up, the game didn't register it on any frame where I was over the ladder. And so I think I ended up having to use item 3 on all 3 elevator screens just to make a platform so that I could keep going.
Ooh. Now, was Flash Stopper not an option? Because I think that's how megakyle made it through that section.
Yeah, that might have been a better option.
Yeah, I definitely remember that stage. And that first seed, item 1, was not usable for the zips. And I knew it wasn't because I tested it out in Metal Man stage. So I didn't try going for the crash zip at all. I just went straight for the platform screens. And I used item 2 to get through there after shooting all the rabbits with the buster, then using item 2 to get up, jumping off a platform, placing an item 2, and jumping up the ladder. But I used Flash to get up the rest of the ladder and to make the screen transition. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So was there anything else that either of you really liked or want to just kind of point out as something that you may have struggled that neither of the commentary crew here had caught on?
I think I might have golded some of my splits, but I'm not actually sure because I lost about 10 runs worth of splits data the other day because I forgot to close live split before I turned off my computer. But I think that second run I think I golded the 8 robos, which I'm pretty happy with.
Little improvements every day. That's how you get better on these randomizers. So I was gonna go ahead and give you your props for such having a good 8 robos.
Yeah, thank you. That was definitely one of my better ones, if not the best.
Yeah, I think that last seed was definitely better for the 8 robos. The first seed, if I remember right, I was 21 or 22 minutes being done with the 8 robos, and the second one turned out much better.
Anyway, so with that, we're gonna look back up into our bracket. So megakyle, with you winning this first round matchup, you get to face X Apollo 2 in the next winners round, while Dagit, you are going to be waiting for the winner of the match between Mad Mega X and the potential winner between Kumba and Squidman, which hasn't been assigned just yet. So what's your thoughts on your potential next opponents?
Well, let's see. I'm very familiar with X Apollo 2. He has been joining us for the casual Mega Man 2 randomizer races on Sunday night. He's been joining in for a few months or so. So very familiar with him. Very excited to race against him in my next race. Definitely.
I'm not sure I was quite following you on who my next opponent might be, but you know, everybody's name that you mentioned is somebody that I would be proud to race against.
Well, Kumba and Squidman have their first round match. The winner of that would move on to face Mad Mega X. And the loser of the Mad Mega X and the winner of that first match would be the person that falls into your loser's side bracket.
I see.
So it could be any one of those three. Is there any one of those three that you kind of go, all right, I really hope it's this person as opposed to either of the other two?
I don't really know Mad Mega X, but you know, I would be honored to race against either Squid or Kumba for sure.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, one of those is going to get sent down to the loser's bracket as they are going against each other, and will be on the complete opposite side of the bracket from you. So you won't end up seeing them until the loser's quarterfinal, which would be 4 rounds of battle between now and then. And then you'll see that particular... whoever loses the winner's round 2 would face you directly. And then if you can survive that one, you'd go up against, I believe, Charlie Boy, who's in the chat with us. And I believe the loser of Metalo and LV Creed, who might well also be in the chat with us presently.
As the current commentator, why, yes I am.
Not that I want to, you know, call a match before it's ever started, but, you know...
The potential is there. I can definitely still be in the losers bracket, but that's still a ways away.
So, well, let's see. If you survive your first match in the losers bracket, which one of these two jokers would you rather have a go at?
You're asking me?
Yeah, this would be for you, Dagit. Yes.
Boy, that's a tough question. I'm not sure.
It's kind of hoping for a little bit more affirmative, you know, I want to go up against Greed because, you know, or, you know, go up against Charlie Boy. Yeah, come on, have some confidence here. Come on.
Well, I actually raced Charlie Boy before. I believe he's the one that put me in the losers bracket in the group stage. So I guess it would be nice to race against Creed.
So
that's not gonna happen because yeah, I'm gonna destroy everybody.
Oh.
So
I'm not gonna say a word. I'm just gonna let my people talk their butts off, and then we're just gonna see what happens during the race.
of course, I'm kidding, but I have to, you know, cut this promo. Just you know, try to make things interesting. More than likely, I will go ahead and have to say my goodbyes for the tournament next race because, yeah, Creed and Metalo, two pretty formidable foes, and yeah, I don't know if I have what it takes to take them out, to be honest. But
now, don't count yourself out. Like I said, we got the spirit of the randomizer, and anything can happen.
Yep, anything can happen.
But like I said, in my mind, what I have to tell myself is I'm about to destroy everybody in this tournament. So you all do not have a chance.
That's the spirit.
All right, so I think that pretty much nearly wraps anything up. Unless, well, first off, do you Dagit and megakyle have any last words for our fans?
Let's see. Just so many good races coming up. So many good runners. I look forward to seeing how this tournament plays out.
I would say, you know, if you enjoy Mega Man and you've thought about speedrunning it in the past or whatever, check out the randomizer. We probably make it look relatively easy, but you know, stick with it. It is challenging. I did not complete my first few tries, but you know, I stuck with it. You know, people like Squidman kept encouraging me to retry it, and you know, eventually it kind of clicked. And I would say, you know, try it out. There's nothing to lose.
I guess that pretty much wraps up everything. Unless, well, of course, we gotta do our final thanks and our final goodbyes before shutting things down. Of course, first and foremost, we gotta thank Speed Gaming for allowing our tournaments to be held. So thanks to Fiesel and the Speed Gaming crew for allowing us to have these races broadcasted for our wonderful chat viewers who are all wonderful and take their time to enjoy watching us. Of course, we want to thank our racers, Dagit and megakyle, for giving us an exciting races, especially that insane Game 2 finish. So thank you two for racing with us.
Oh, thank you so much, and GG Dagit.
Yeah, thank you, and GG as well. I'm glad we could entertain people.
Absolutely.
Of course, we gotta thank Duckfist for creating the randomizer to begin with. Without him, none of this would even be possible. So always GG to our Lord and Savior of the Mega Man 2 randomizer, Duckfist. And of course, finally, our commentating team, gotta thank Frico and Charlie Boy for, of course, especially Charlie Boy, since he's actually running the tournament. He's our tournament organizer after all.
No wonder he's doing so well.
Ha 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 ha. Hey, you know what? Actually, yo, I'm glad you said that because I didn't even draw the last bucket. You know, I wanted to, and I had it a different way. I had it the way the challenge brought it to me from the group stage. But you know, just so people wouldn't say that right there, let Frico here take over, and he used the program to draw this final bracket, and yeah, so. Because trust me, I would definitely not have put myself in front of Metalo and LV Creed in any form or fashion.
Yeah, unfortunately, you got kind of like a group of death going on there, Charlie Boy. Yeah, but you know, had to happen to somebody, unfortunately.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Oh, you're welcome. You know, you need more time to run the tournament. You know, just saying.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna beat them all. Beat them all. It doesn't matter. But yeah, and hey, thanks everybody again. Long drawn out thank you goodbye session like we all like to do anyways. But yeah, thanks to Duckfist, Speed Gaming, myself, to Dagit for the tracker, to LV Creed, to Frico here, to Dagit and megakyle for the races. Thanks everybody, and yeah, if anybody else doesn't have anything else to say, we're gonna go ahead and take off for the night. Follow the runners, follow the commentators.
Thank you, and good night.
Later, everybody.
Have
Take
a
care,
good
everyone.
night.
Take care, everyone.